is Lori Winters. I'm the Executive Director of the museum, and I'd like to thank you and Betty and Cliff for just the incredible support that you've given to this museum. A lot of you contributed in insurmountable ways to making this institution happen. A decade ago, you know, the institution goes back to 1961 when it was founded, but this new building, the gardens, were kind of momentous occasion, and a lot of you standing here made it happen. And a lot of you contributed because you had an incredible example set by Betty and Cliff Nelson. And so we thank them today as Betty reaches 100 years. Actually, July 11th is the official birthday, but we're celebrating today because we wanted to make today a free day in the museum. I think that was something that Betty was really proud of, that we're able to do, that we feel strongly about welcoming everyone to the museum. And that this has turned out to be such a community organization that really supports in so many ways, through tourism dollars, through children's programming, through Art and Chalk Fest, which draws in over 20,000 visitors every single year. So it's just a great privilege to have the opportunity to thank Betty and to thank all of you for supporting the museum.
For those of you who visited my mom lately, she really has very severe hearing and vision loss, and it makes it almost impossible for her to be in big groups. Her mind is still sharp. If she tells me to do something one week and I forget to do it, I'm there the next week, she'll remind me what I forgot to do. And but she really is happy that everybody came together here today. She wanted me to say in particular to Peter and Prudence, what a great lifetime of family friendships, really 2 generations of friendships with our family. I did say to my mom, I said, you know, when you get to be 100 years old, people are going to want to know, what is the secret? What have you learned? Do you have any words of wisdom that you want to pass along to the people at this party? And she looked at me very seriously and she said, Paulie, you tell those people, do not trust Vladimir Putin. She really said that. So from community philanthropy to international relations, Betty and our family really thanks you for putting together this event to commemorate her contributions to the museum and to the city of West.
Happy birthday, Betty. Happy 100th birthday. What an outstanding accomplishment to reach 100 years. And thank you so much for your service to the community, especially the Museum of Wisconsin Art. You were pivotal. Your efforts and Cliff's efforts were pivotal in getting us to this point. Again, thank you.
You know, my dad had an iron trap memory for dates, kind of like Rocky. And he could remember everybody's birthday. He couldn't remember names, but he remembered everybody's birthday. And he always said Betty's birthday was the easiest to remember, 7-11. Those are the magical numbers when you shoot craps. And Dad went to Las Vegas once a year to shoot craps. So he'd always say, well, today is 7-11 day. It's Betty's birthday.
What a wonderful opportunity to wish the dearest friend, Betty McCargo Nelson, 100th birthday celebration here at MOWA. It's hard to put into words how instrumental she and her husband Cliff were in the welfare of this West Bend community. And I'm disappointed she's not here, but I have so many images of her that that'll have to suffice. Thanks.
You know, Cliff was always the front person in the charitable work that the Nelsons did in the community. Betty was in the background in her own quiet way, and when Cliff passed on, Betty maintained that in the background, quiet way, but many of us here today know how she continued to support and was a leader in helping the not-for-profits in this community. So Betty, I wanted to say one thing personally to Betty, and I know this is being videotaped, and maybe I'll go up to Cedar Communities and see her, but she always called me Pete, and I didn't like being called Pete. I like Peter. but I never had the courage, because I had so much respect for her, to say, why don't you call me Peter? So Betty, if you see this videotape, pretty please call me Peter. So happy 100th birthday in 2 days, Betty. We're 2 days early. You've done a great thing for this city, and that's people like you is why this city is such a great place to live. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Betty. I hope all of us get to live to be 100 years young, as you've showed us the way. And we started the Cliff and Betty Nelson Award with United Way in 1988, and they were the first recipients. And then I came in 1989. So I continued the tradition, and I'm so happy they added Betty's name to the award in recent years. And just see that it's a wonderful legacy for all the volunteers and leaders, not only in West Bend, but also Greater Washington County.
To me, Betty and Cliff taught by example. They lived simply, they gave generously to the community and to this museum, and taught a future generation what giving back really means, and that is giving is its own reward. I recently had the opportunity, thanks to Paul, to visit with Betty briefly. She was amazing. We reminisced. It was terrific. Thank you. But what made it really special is I realized what made Betty to me really special. She has a grace and a quiet elegance that strikes you immediately on meeting her, followed very closely by a quick wit and a good sense of humor. To me, she is and will always be a lady in every sense of the word, and a role model for me growing up. So I'm really happy and proud to be asked to be here today, to ask you to join me in wishing her happy birthday and express our gratitude for her support and involvement in the museum and the community. So can we all say it at once? Happy birthday!